Welcome to the video. Today we shall be looking at a game that I believe is actually an underrated third-person hardcore shooter. I'm your host, CuddlyJay, and if this is at all enjoyable for you, please subscribe and, check out the channel. Anyways, the game we are talking about today is called Tom Clancy's Division 2. Now, you might not know that this has happened, as I just found out about this very recently myself. But this game actually added a hardcore game mode. Yes, that's right. Tom Clancy's Division 2 has a hardcore mode. Once you die, that's it. It's completely over for your character. So I decided to jump into the game and give this mode a try. After going through the agent customization screen, I finally created the most badass agent you've ever seen. Bojack. The best of the best.
We took things for granted. We expected coffee in the morning. We expected free Wi-Fi. When those were taken from us, we survived. When communications broke down, the trains stopped and the internet went dark, we survived.
But when the pharmacies were looted and hospitals shut down, asthma became lethal. And with no police to protect you, did you own a gun?
Did your neighbor?
Some survived.
We are a resilient species. When our society collapsed, we found ways to go on. And now, for the first time in centuries, what we want is also truly what we need. In the face of disaster, we helped each other.
We built new communities in the ruins of the old. We adapted. We survived. Established a new normal. But there are also those who build nothing. Create nothing.
Hyenas preying on the weak. They've made our world bleed. But we don't stand alone. A brave few have sworn to protect us and save what remains. They unite us.
Remind us that we are one people. They are our shield and our light. But if that light goes out,
who can save us then?
Once we spawn into the game, we start in this area here. We have to advance through here to the main objective, get to the White House that's being attacked. Bojack even thought about hunting right off the bat for some delicious venison, but we needed to not think about food at this time. We had to move on. So Bojack moved on. I always forget how beautiful the Division games are, the first one and this one. They just always look fantastic, and they always run so well. They're optimized so well. Now, the combat is just your simple cover combat while popping out, shooting enemies, and popping back into cover. But for some viewers, I understand, I totally get it, this isn't your type of combat. You also might compare this game to a sponge, which I've heard this a lot, shooting enemies and they're more like a sponge. But for me, I actually really enjoy the combat in the Division, so I think it's just a preference. Eventually, after dealing with multiple enemies, Bojack makes it to the White House. Let me tell you something, when the best of the best Bojack appears, all eyes are on him. Once we enter the White House, we head up to the main room to meet a man called Manny, who runs comms. Basically, he gives us a mission, and we need to go do it. After this, we unlock our first skill, which is a simple scanner for enemies. And then we, of course, head on out into the world. We even come across one of our allies getting attacked, so we, of course, get the good old hunting shotgun out and show them who Bojack is. One thing I do really enjoy about The Division is how they make it feel, I don't know, just feels more alive in the world when you're walking around the streets. In this one, there are allies who patrol, and of course we have our enemies too that can patrol or be just, standing in general areas. Now we can run across these enemies and take them down if we want, or you can simply let them pass by, or we ourselves pass them by. Then there are other times when you come across enemies attacking our patrols. We can, of course, help them if we want, or, just see the outcome and see which side wins. A lot of the time I like to do that just to see what happens. It just makes the streets feel more alive in my opinion, and it makes the city feel more dangerous. Now here Bojack finds a group of enemies with a hostage, so he attempts to save the hostage, but fails. Don't judge Bojack, alright? Now, I hate pointing this out, but it really does look good, this game. There's sometimes I'm just in the Division 1 or 2, and I'm just like, wow, how did this come out so long ago? It's ahead of its time, I tell you, ahead of its time. Anyway, this game does have exploration, so you can, of course, go down, alleyways and so forth and see what's down there. A lot of the time there will be loot in areas that you can get into, and certain buildings also allow you to open doors and go into them and explore them, which I really, really enjoy. It just adds more to the world. Eventually, though, Bojack gets to the first settlement called the Theater. From here, we will get more missions that we can complete to level up, unlock more gear, skills, and of course, progress the story. Now, the way a lot of the missions work in The Division 2 is pretty standard. Basically, you'll get a location to head to, you'll head to that location into a building or something along those lines. Once you're in those, in that area, you have to clear out all the area of enemies while fighting some tougher mini-bosses, and usually fighting a boss at the end of the area. Now, as I'm doing this solo, it's still a challenge, and I recommend it even if you don't have anyone to play this game with. It's a lot of fun in hardcore, and, it's just the risk of dying, really. It makes it feel more important than it was in the normal game mode. Dying in the normal game mode just meant you had to restart the level, while this gives you that risk of, oh, if I die, I lose everything on this character, I lose the character, and I lose all the time that I spent leveling this character up. Now, I know hardcore isn't for everyone, but I think you should at least give it a try and see if you yourself might like it. You might actually surprise yourself. Bojack believes in you. And so do I. Now, after this big boss fight with waves of enemies, we save this theater settlement boss's daughter, and Bojack is to head back on foot. But before that, we of course needed to use this lovely minigun. Then on his way back, Bojack also secures some venison for the settlement. I have to say, Bojack is a true gentleman at heart. Also, if you've never had the chance to try venison, my god, you're missing out. I guess that's the perks of growing up around hunters for some of my life. Now, I did try some matchmaking searching here, but I believe it's due to my character actually being on the hardcore mode, because I can't play, I just couldn't find anyone. So I think when you're on the normal version of the game, because every time I've been on the normal version, I've always found players, random agents to play with in most of the areas. So I think it's possible that the hardcore area of the game, this game mode, it just has a lot fewer, players playing it, which means you're not probably going to find as many people. So if you do play hardcore, go in solo, or if you have some friends, that's probably going to be the best way to do it. basically, this is one of those missions that helps the theater settlement out. So once you complete it, it actually unlocks new features for the theater settlement. So usually there's always players doing this, especially at the start of the game. So yeah, I think it's just the hardcore mode. It is also in early access, I think, the hardcore mode. I could be wrong on that, but I think it is still getting updates and all. So they're still working with it, and eventually it'll be fully released. Overall, I think this newer hardcore game mode is a win for the Tom Clancy Division 2 community. I really do enjoy the risk that it adds to the game, and it adds more to the game than the original game mode in a way, just because of that risk. But I will say, whenever you get to like endgame and stuff, and it opens up and there's more like PvP orientated things, I'm not sure how they're going to do that, because that's going to be a bit, I don't know how that's going to work. So maybe if you have played the hardcore mode right up until endgame, you can let me know in the comments below what you think about that yourself. Anyways, I do highly recommend it. Jump in, give it a try. You know, if you already own the game, it's free then, technically. So just go give it a try. I will say this before I end the video. I honestly think they need to advertise it more, or just something to get more eyes on it, because I had no idea this game mode existed. None of my friends knew either. I was telling them about it, and they actually do sound interested, and I think they want to play. So in the future, I'll definitely be playing this with my friends. Anyways, Bojack says farewell, and so do I. Bye-bye.